Hey, Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. I'm one half of the team that powers DungeonSwag.com, and I have the June box here. I have not checked it just yet, but I helped pick the minis, so I'm not going to be super surprised. In the box, you get your extra sticker, of course. Put that in my giant stack of stickers that I collect. We've had DungeonSwag for a while now. We just didn't really do a lot of advertising because we wouldn't be able to keep up with the orders before we had a plan. So this box is like a barbarian tribe people. So we have this fella. Nice. We have this fella. Oh yeah. We have Captain Shieldback. Look at that. Those are really bendy antlers. I'd be careful with those. They won't break off, so. I think I really like that guy. Alright. This fella. Sick. And this shaman dude. So let's dig in here. We have our bases. 6 minis this month. They're thicker. And as always, there's usually an extra base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there's not an extra base this time. Usually he's got an extra base in there. Alright, here's our weapons and stuff. Alright, so let me find something to display those in a little easier to see. Okay. So as far as weapons go, we have these shields, which are not all identical. Oh, I really like that one. It's got like a hand where you can, like he's holding it down. There's a guy, a hand holding a skull, some swords, a drinking horn, or maybe it's a blowing horn, and a hand for the, I can't think of what the shaman. Let's grab one of our regular WizKids minis, set this guy on the base to it. So they're about the same size as a WizKid mini. And we're going to have to base these dudes and put them together. So let's start with basing. Let's put our bases on pill bottles. Alright, nice. Yeah, I probably could have done this assembly line from the start and been faster. Alright. Got our 6 bases here. Good thing I grabbed out 6 bottles. I couldn't remember how many were in the box. So, next thing we want to do is we want to get our mix ready. Not mix, our baking soda ready. So we need something to stir glue around with. We can use this piece of a toothpick that I stirred something else out with. So what we're doing is we're just getting that, and we're spreading it out in a kind of jagged pattern around the base. Doesn't need to be one uniform thickness. We're just creating the dirt, the ground. This is going to be the ground. See that? Now the reason I use baking soda, and you can use whatever you want, real dirt if you want. The reason I use baking soda is because I like to imagine that dirt is very small compared to a miniature. And if you use like granular sand, like construction sand or something, it's like every piece is a big rock. See that there? We had like that's sticking off the edge. That's okay, man. That means we use too much glue. When that dries, you can either snip that off with scissors or you can leave it. I might just leave it. Yeah, the too much glue thing happens. It's okay. Really, if you're getting fancy, you can make that work with your Mini too. You can... Just get the shape you want. I'm really excited. Barbarians are one of those really useful low-level enemies and high-level enemies, so you can really do a lot with them. Obviously, players can grab from those to choose their player character from as well. But my main excitement is the fact that they're good in-game and early-game enemies. One more to do. Now, I like to put rocks on these when I'm working on, when I'm doing my minis and stuff. You don't have to do that. That's just a step I like to do. And sometimes I wait till I get the mini on there to see how that's going to look. And that's what I might do today, actually, is wait. I can't remember how I did them on the knights from last month. But I really enjoyed the knights from last month. That box set was sweet. When you get our minis, it'll be just like it was for me when I opened it up. You'll have your minis and bases and your weapons and stuff. And then, you know, you kind of pick and choose how you want to put stuff together. Some minis you have to do it a certain way, and some minis you have some options to play with. So before you glue your minis on, it's good to dust off any of the extra powder you have there. And then check to make sure your minis don't need anything under them to stand flush. Because some minis will. Depending on the poses they come in. We actually have bases for them that are specifically made for each miniature, but we don't use them to keep the costs down. And also a lot of people like to clear bases, it seems like, so it puts us in a world where we have to make a decision, and often that decision is going to be whatever's going to be able to get the miniature out at the best price, because if you look at our expenses, we're not in this for the money. Don't get me wrong, if we made a profit, that'd be awesome, but more important that we have good minis than anything. That's like our whole goal, is to provide good minis for a reasonable price. Now this dude is kind of stepping forward here. See, does he need a rock? Nope. Looks like everybody's a flat stander this month. Man, I'm stoked. All right. Now this is that base that's funky, and I don't know if I want to keep that on there or break that off. I think I'm going to snap that loose. Like that. Ooh. My finger stuck to the miniature a little bit. Okay. Let's get our glue wiped up. Get our excess glue cleaned. out of our way. Oh, I just dropped that box. We don't want anything sticking to this while we're working here. Oh, I should have left that out. I'm a dummy. That's all right. We'll get another piece of tape and we'll start figuring out weapons. So none of these are really two-handers, it looks like. So we have a lot of weapon options here. We know this goes to our shaman dude, so let's grab him. Let's get a dab of glue down here for the weapons. We know that shaman dude's hand. In place. And then he's probably the one that would have the skull in his other hand, it'd be if I had to guess. Yeah. I think we got what we wanted out of that fella. I want to do that bear dude next. He's kind of like, I kind of want to give him that big sword because he looks like he's supposed to have it, but maybe I should save that. What about we give the bear dude this one of these one-handers? Yeah, let's give him a one-hander. Then in his other hand, let's shield him up. That looks pretty good. Make sure the shield's at a good angle. Get his hands seated in there well. Okay. Alright, this is the dude that probably has the drinking horn, or the war horn. Now, you don't have to do them exactly like this if you don't want to. I'm just trying to do what looks like it fits. And I want this guy to have the battle axe because he's kind of like their commander or something. I was watching this thing about Vikings, and these are more of like a barbarian than a Viking, I guess, but I was watching this thing about Vikings, and they're always buried with swords, but you always see in depictions they show them with axes. And apparently, in the depictions that we have, we assume they had axes because they cleverly designed the bearded axe for pulling against boats and stuff like that, and climbing and such. But that was not their main weapon. They predominantly used swords, and I was really interested to hear that. Okay, this guy I think is going to be my guy holding his shield down. Yeah, that's going to look good. I wasn't sure if I wanted to use him or the other guy, but it's definitely this guy. So, looking at Viking tombs, I'm going to put a little dab of this glue on the bottom because it touches the base. Looking at Viking tombs, they were predominantly buried with swords, which would be indicative that they were more closely connected with their sword than they would have been with. And this guy, kind of want to use this shield or spear. Let's see how that's going to look. Yeah, we're going to go with the spear on this dude. Whoops. If I could learn how to hold stuff. Alright, 2 more to do. It looks like I need a little drop of glue here more. Alright, so we got, these guys both have shields, because that's what we have left for these hands. Whoa, that dude snapped right off his base. Get another dab of glue. And we have, looks like we had an extra sword. I can dig that. That sword is really big on him. Kind of want to pluck it off and put that smaller one. Before that dries too hard, you can do that. But once those dry, that's kind of game over on that. We have to thank Asco for putting an extra sword in there because I didn't really like that choice. Alright, last shield. Whoops. Dropped it, of course. Nice. Alright, so do we want to use that sword or that giant one? I kind of like that giant chunky one. Let's use the big chunky one, because that thing is looking sick. Yeah. Pardon me. Apparently I came back from Ohio with a bit of a cough. Darn you, Ohio. I'm joking, I don't care. Alright, nice. We want to make sure that it doesn't stick out past the base at all. So hold it at an angle and try to get a look to make sure. Because if that sticks out past that base, dudes. Oh, man. Oh, +5. Cleaver of liking and subscribing. Yeah, it won't stick out past the base. Alright. So let's take a look at what we got here. Let's get our glue put away. You can throw your extra sword or whatever in your bit box like you did with the extra parts last month. So we have this rude dude that we just put together. And if you look here, before I prime these, there's just like little extras from the supports from printing these. You want to pull those off. You don't want to leave those on. They don't look nice on a miniature, honestly. So make sure you don't have any of those. Take that off. We got the Warhorn dude. Yeah, pretty sick. We got this guy with the bear hat. He's rowdy. I have to straighten that sword out some, no problem. Hit it with the blow dryer. Put it in the position you want. Let it cool. So what's nice about this really bendy resin is you can do what you want with it. This guy has some supports on him still, so we want to pull those off. It's probably smarter to do this before you put the shield on, if I were to guess. Oh, am I pulling his sword? Oh, shit. Told you these are sturdy. That was the handle for that sword back here. I almost yanked it off from that side. It looked like a piece of support, but that's the sword handle. Okay. Now we got this guardian-looking dude.
I am on guard duty. It is my job to make sure no milk drinkers get in. Oh, are you a Nord? Welcome, brother.
Sorry, I'm a dork. Played a lot of hours of Skyrim back in the day. Might start playing it again now just because I really like this guy a lot. So these are the June box, and as you can see, they're thick, they're well built. They're sturdy. They're strong. You can look at that. Look at it. I can bend that around and it doesn't break off. Okay? Though I am, because it is that bendy, I am going to paint those with super glue before I paint him. And you might say, well, why? Well, because when I dry brush, I don't want it to be whapping all over the place. So if I'm going to do stuff like that, disposable brush that I don't want anymore, come up here. Very light coats of super glue. And that'll sturdy those up some so that they're not bending and such when you're dry brushing. Now, if you don't care and you're not going to dry brush them, like say you're just going to only use a speed paint or something, and you don't care if it's bendy, go ahead. But for me, these parts that are super bendy, I don't want to have to worry about them moving around on me while I'm painting. So I'm going to sturdy them up. Again, they're not going to snap off or anything, but alright. That's only stuff that was really real small on these. Maybe these, this guy's horns too, just to be, so they don't bend, because his horns are really thin. So I'm just going to hit those quickly. And then this brush is trash. Alright, this has been Doom from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit, and I'd like you to check the description, check out our link, check out our Discord. There's a deal on there right now on Discord to get a free mini at no expense to you. That's good till halfway through the month, I believe. And then there's also the 25% off your first month purchase using the gift code BISCUITS. And these are only for the new people. For all you people that have been here, you've got your discounts and everything free you're going to get for now. Sorry, but we can't give you stuff free forever. But I'd like to thank all our loyal subscribers to the channel and to DungeonSwag.com. It's amazing. We never thought we would have this much fun building a business together, and we never thought we'd be able to give people minis like this for a good price. So everything's been amazing, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good evening.